Okay, 40 minutes left in the round. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what that rack's doing in the bottom left-hand corner. Let's get a better shot of that. So we got the rack. The rack behind that crate. Ooh, does not. He only has an 8 on this advance, and he's trying to get around that impassable crate, and I don't think he's going to make it. That's quite the distance. So he's just going to move up and stand on that objective. So what is he going to do? He could go straight for the middle, potentially. He's just advancing at the moment. Just advancing. Okay, let's see here. So this is the movement phase. So this is just the movement phase for turn 2. Turn 2. Movement phase battle round 2. So it looks like he's moving this leader, Night Fiend. He's going to just stay along the back edge of the board, close to his deployment zone. He wants to make sure he's outside of charge range from that striking Scorpion on the other side. Now it's on to the movement phase for the Asuryani. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. So he's out of range for both flamers. That was good positioning on the Jakari player's part. So it looks like we've got a charge being initiated from the Striking Scorpion. He is not going to move. Did not make his charge. Okay, so he's just going to move. Okay, so then assuming that's the Dire Avenger Exarch, because he's got 2 big guns in his hands. He's just going to move up next to that Striking Scorpion. And then the Star Cannon with his little buddy, who is the leader of the Asuryani team, are just going to line up that shot. You can almost see right through those buildings from that position. This camera gets a good angle right where he's aiming with that Star Cannon between those 2 buildings to hit the rack on that center objective. Let's see if we can't transition away. So as you can see that in the bottom left-hand corner, all those Asuryani models, the Striking Scorpion, the Dire Avenger Exarch, and the Star Cannon have moved in position around, aiming directly back at the center objective. And now we're on to the shooting phase. Battle round 2. So we have a liquefier gun shooting at something. He rolled a 4 for the number of shots that he's going to take, so he's taking 4 shots. Wounds on 4s. That is 4 hits. 4 hits with the liquefier gun. -3 AP. Oh, he only got 1 hit? I'm confused. He's going to re-roll that injury. He did get to the injury roll. And that is an out of... oh, no. He's going to use a tactic. So he's using the 2 CP tactic. On a 4+, he is just taking a flesh wound, and no, he does not make it. He tried to save him with his version of Death Denied, not quite as good version of Death Denied. Feel no pain, nope. Another flesh wound onto the rack on the center objective. Or just 1 flesh wound on that rack on the center objective. We've got another shot at that same guy, that same model. And he's giving him the comms +1 hit. And that's 2 hits. Strength 6. 2 wounds. 2 4-up involves. 2 4-up invul saves. That's 1. 2 feel no pain. 6-ups. Ooh, snake eyes. 2 damage on the injury roll, and that is out of action. So that rack has been removed from that center objective. It's pretty big for the Asuryani. That was the demolition specialist rack with liquefier gun. Who just got taken out of action on that center objective. I got a question.
Body, arms, just body. Is he obstructed if he begins to see his arms? He can see the whole torso. He cannot see the arm. Is he obstructed? I can't see the gun.
Sorry, we just had a question about oh, looks like the stream is not doing good in the lag department. Yes, we are. Yeah, it'll be recorded with no lag. Sorry about that. This connection, we're just going off the Kill Team Streams 5G phone connection right now because this hotel is a little sparse with their internet connections, unfortunately. looks like we've moved on to the fight phase. So we've got a Howling Banshee in combat with a rack in the center. He's using a command point reroll. Or he's using a tactic to get more attacks. Hitting on 4s. Ooh. One hit. Whoa, does not wound. Does not wound. That was a rough set of rolls. That was 4 ones in a row. 4 ones in a row. Zinch is on the move. So we've got another attack, close combat attack, 2 wounds onto a rack. Wow, more ones coming from the red dice on the Jakari. And onto the 3 damage. Oh, only a flesh wound. Flesh wound onto that rack. The rack to the top. Oh yeah, so he was in combat with the Howling Banshee Exarch, and that's where he did not make any of his hits on the Exarch. So we've got more attacks onto the rack on the center objective. Still in the fight phase. 1 4-up save, does not make it. Feel no pain, does not make that either. Injury roll and another flesh wound onto that rack. But you know, those flesh wounds can add up in the morale phase, unfortunately. So we have one result, which I think is going to put him into the top 8. Alex Rutnerick on Huzair Zarani, who was on the stream last game. So we have one result, which I think is going to put him into the top 8. Alex Rutnerick on Huzair Zarani, who was on the stream last game. Defeated his opponent with a pretty good score, so it looks like he's most likely going to be in the top 8 at 3-1. Defeated his opponent with a pretty good score, so it looks like he's most likely going to be in the top 8 at 3-1. Looks like at the end of the fight phase, no one else got taken out of action, as far as I can tell. Howling Banshee and Striking Scorpion are still in combat with that rack in the middle. The other. Looks like at the end of the fight phase, no one else got taken out of action, as far as I can tell. Howling Banshee and Striking Scorpion are still in combat with that rack in the middle. The other rack has a flesh wound. So we will see. So they are on to the scoring phase after battle round 2. All right. So they're just adding up their score. Looks like 7 for the Jakari. 7 for the Drukhari. But the Asuryani player has been winning on the primaries, I believe. So we'll see. Okay. Wow. So at the end of that turn, the score is 8-7 for the Asuryani, going into battle round 3. So it looks like the Drukhari have won the initiative, and he is trying to decide how he wants to move his models. This is a close one. A lot of close games up here. Looks like he's moving that Mandrake to the bottom right-hand corner, trying to obviously stay within 1 inch of that battlefield edge. When you got extra models to spare, you can score that secondary objective pretty easily. I'm looking. All right, looks like we have a charge. Double Snake Eyes. He's going to re-roll that charge and gets a 3. That's unfortunate for the rack in the top right-hand corner by that silver shipping container on that objective in the top right-hand corner. He tried to charge in to help out his teammates, but yeah. So we're still in the movement phase, battle round 3. Drukhari have won the initiative. Trying to decide. All right. Sorry about the sketchy stream, but we will have a good recording of this with no lag later. Uploaded to the YouTubes. All right. Looks like Drukhari player is going to spend 1 command point to move his model. I believe that's the tactic that the Drukhari have. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but he's. I think he's just getting an automatic move. I'm not sure. Anyways, he moved his flesh-wounded rack behind that barricade, sort of just to the right of the center objective. And another rack has moved on to that center objective. And now it looks like it's the Asuryani's player's turn. The Dire Avenger Exarch has moved up to that objective on the top left-hand corner to contest it. Looks like he's trying to measure a distance for his. So he is going to initiate a charge from the Striking Scorpion on 2 models who can't fire Overwatch. And he got a 7. So I don't think that's quite going to reach any of the distances that he's going to try and take. See where he's going. Oh, so the Striking Scorpion looks like he's opted to just stay stationary because he failed that charge. Azerani player trying to decide what he wants to do with that Flamer. Oh no, the Flamer's in combat with the rack. So he's got a couple other models behind that shipping container on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Almost everyone else is stuck in combat. This is a really close game. Looks like we got a 7 for a, is that a charge? I guess that was a charge by the Striking Scorpion on the center objective, but he just moved around the edge of that building. Oh, so he was trying to take the shortest distance that he possibly could to get around that building. So now he's trying to see what to do with that Howling Banshee in the center. The Howling Banshee Exarch. He's kind of in the way. He's trying to see if he can fit through. Oh, I guess he did. Oh, maybe not. Double checking everything. These guys are both really nice players. They're being very friendly with measuring and remeasuring and taking takesy-backsies. Which is always good to see in a competitive game when both players are very knowledgeable about what they're doing. So it looks like the Howling Banshee advanced. Trying to see if the Howling Banshee's in line of sight with anyone. So they're trying to see who has line of sight to the Mandrake on the very, very top edge of the map. The Howling Banshee Exarch, combat specialist, moves up behind that building on the top, very, very top middle edge of the board. A lot of measuring going on. So he's trying to move those Howling Banshee and Striking Scorpion just basically left that middle objective because they did not want to get shot by the liquefiers in the top right-hand corner because there's 2 racks up there. I think at least one of them definitely has a liquefier. Looks like he's readying. The Dire Avenger, or Guardian Defender, comm specialist, who's next to the Star Cannon, who moved up next to that building on the bottom edge of the map, the bottom building. And it looks like we're moving on to the shooting phase. Battle round 3. Two shots from the Drukhari. Two hits on the Dire Avenger Exarch. 2 wounds. AP -1. AP -1. 5 up saves. Does not make either of them. 2 feel no pains. Does not make either of those. Injury roll from the 2 1 damage shots, and that Guardian. Wow, that was crazy. Oh man, that was huge. The Dire Avenger Exarch just got taken out. Dire Avenger Exarch just got taken out of action by a little 2 shots with a couple of lucky rolls and failed saves. Whew. That was crazy. So that's definitely a kill 1 for the Drukhari player. It's going to be a close game. Two shots from a liquefier gun onto the Howling Banshee. 1 wound, -2 AP, no save, and feel no pain. No. Injury roll out of action. Howling Banshee is gone. That's 2 models out of action. That's the that token, that light green token in the middle of the map is the Relic Hunter, or essentially the Bounty Hunter token that was dropped by the Drukhari player, which means that the Asuryani player has that secondary objective. But he wasn't able to pick it up, unfortunately, because he didn't end the turn within 1 inch of it, which is a slight different rule for that. Oh man, so the Howling Banshee Exarch just bit the dust as well. Yikes. So the Howling Banshee Exarch, Howling Banshee, and the Dire Avenger Exarch were all just taken out of action simultaneously by these the shooting from this Drukhari team. Whew. That is going to hurt. I believe as far as I can see, the Adeptus Mechanicus are giving Janus's Asuryani a run for their money. It looks like a close game as well. We've got armor saves. Oh, and he makes the Ulfway feel no pain. So we might be on to the fight phase. Okay, that was the fight phase. Looks like we might have, we're under the morale phase. So we have a break test coming from the Asuryani because of all the flesh wounds and models out of action. And he gets double 6s. His team is broken. The Asuryani team is broken. Okay, we got 1 pass. 1 fail. That's a shaken model in the bottom. That's a Guardian Defender 4 with the Striking Scorpion is shaken. The leader. So quite a few shaken models. That could be the game, honestly. The broken Asuryani team with 4 shaken models. Looks like we're going to see a big point swing at the end of this turn. I'm hearing them racking up the scores. This game was so close, 7-8.
Yeah.
But it's about to take a big swing. Alec just took out like a whole bunch of models in one turn.
You wanna?
It's pretty much over. It's pretty much over, I guess that's No, I might have been tripped over a couple times.
Oh, that's why you didn't get it to work.
No, I didn't even try, luckily. That would have been confusing. He's got the Wishman's Best Kings to check.
Oh, okay.
They might have done that. But probably. So it looks like we're going to set up another. We're going to set up another camera angle here, real quick. We're going to see what that score is at the end of Battle Round 3. Going into Battle Round 4 with the broken Asuryani team and 4 shaken models. Those yellow dice you can see on the board are shaken models. Okay, so I will switch to that. Check out this other. While they're calculating their scores, we'll just see the different camera angle. See those sweet shaken Eldar models, unfortunately. Panning around the map. So it looks like Grey Knights could be making it in the top 8. We have a 4-0 Grey Knights player.
Is this the top table or is that the top table?
This is.
So you guys are going into Battle Round 4?
These 13 I have 13.
So the current score, it's not quite as bad as I thought it was, but that shaken models and all that stuff is going to really hurt the Asuryani player going into the final battle round. But the score going into Battle Round 4. It's 13-9 for the Drukhari. For the Drukhari. So I'm not sure who won the initiative there. It looks like the Drukhari have won the initiative, and it's not gonna. The Asuryani player is not gonna have a long turn because 4 of his models are shaken. The rest of them are mostly out of action. I don't think the Star Cannon weapon platform can do anything with his Guardian Defender shaken. Back to the sweet close-up camera. Okay, so they're already onto the shooting phase. They're really speeding through this. He's just shooting at a bunch of shaken models, basically.
It's definitely a multi-person operation. I was doing it myself on Friday.
Oh, this part, yeah. That was more chill. And I don't switch to the other table that much because I don't really know what's going on. So I kind of switch over like, look at that table.
Yeah.
You can't really see, so it's like,
See,
that's fine.
there's stuff
that's
over
fine,
there.
but- yeah, that's basically what I did. Everyone was interested in this.
Oh, which game? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made it to the top table, but then lost very, very poorly. And I played Necrons. Lost here, and that was just a shit show. And then, yeah, and then the next game was Harlequins. And actually, I did really good in that game, but it just wasn't enough. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like bottom something or other. So the dream is dead. Yeah. I should have taken Necrons. I learned my lesson.
The Blade one's pretty dirty.
Yeah. Did he lose the game? Is that why he's not up here? Oh.
Looks like it's about to be another answer.
Oh, man. Alex is a good player, though. That's why he's my, co-host.
So they're just calculating up the score for the final round, battle round 4. There was kind of a foregone conclusion with so many shaken models and the broken. Final score. (20-9) for the Jakari. In this final round of the Las Vegas Open. So that means we definitely have Jakari in the top 8. This Asuryani player may or may not make the top 8 with such a low score of 9. We'll see. We'll see how everyone else did in their scoring. It looks like Michael Holy is trying to make a comeback running. He hasn't lost any other games since he played against Glass Half Dead, but that low score against Glass Half Dead makes it very difficult for him to pull that one out. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm assuming Michael Holy is trying to max his score as much as possible to see. So this is going to be a real interesting shakeup to see who gets big scores and does big things in this final round of the Las Vegas Open Tournament. So, let's go over to table 2. Because that game is still going on between Alex Squires on his Adeptus Mechanicus versus Janice on her Asuryani. So this is table 2, and also this is the second ranked table of players in the tournament. So one of them is definitely making the top 8, whoever wins that game. And I have no idea what the score is. I'm going to find out what that score is between the AdMech and the Asuryani. It looks like a close game. I think it's 12-14. So this game is 14-12 in favor of the Asuryani. Just because I have the ability to, I'm going to change so that we have the correct. teams here.
How was the Eldora match?
Give you the current score because this is another pretty important matchup. Alex Squires versus Janice Gilhelm. I'm not sure exactly what battle round they're in. I'm assuming they're in battle round 4 because the time is about to be up on this round.
Buddy, we're trying to get the cool
It's
shot.
got to be battle round 4 because of those particular scores.
Just jump over that.
I'm not there.
Alright, and I'll switch over here. Can I see what's on the DSLR?
Yes. Okay. Oh, nice. We're gonna get a close-up shot. Get that Howling Banshee. All right. Let's check it out. 12 to 14 for the Ezerani. Table 2. Adeptus Mechanicus. Where are all the all you can see is that Howling Banshee. I assume that's a Howling Banshee Exarch holding down Objective 2 on Table 2. I assume.
Yeah, I think so.
Very interesting. This is going to be a tough match for Alex. I don't know what he's going to do. It looks like he has a lot of models out of action. Oh, yeah, he has a bunch of them. 6 models out of action for the Adeptus Mechanicus and 5 models out of action for the Ezerani. So it looks like, so we've got some shooting going on. AdMech shooting at the models in the top right-hand corner, that objective in the top right-hand corner. You can't see the dice tray, but we just pick up on it.
I know, right?
What was that?
I just moved it a little bit so it's in this shot.
This is coming down to the final scoring round. These are both really good players. Alex has been pretty high up in the actually both of these players are relatively high up in the IGC rankings, I think. Janice is number 3 in the IGC rankings. Alex is number 4. These are the 3rd and 4th ranked players in the Kill Team IGC rankings playing each other on the number 2 table.
They could actually unseat Michael Woolley. I mean, wins the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. So if either of these players win the LVO, because it's such a big event, they could potentially score enough points to unseat Michael T. Holy on his IGC dominance.
What? I don't know. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he needs to be like 20th place for him to not win, I think, or something like that at this point. Oh,
Here we go. We got some scores. What? Who did?
The Demons guy broke on the last turn and gave him the game. It was like 22 to 19 score.
Glassov Jet is undefeated going into the top 8. Oh my God. Glassov Dead is 4-0 going into the top 8 of the Las Vegas Open.
He's gone.
So we still don't know if Michael Holy will be able to make the top 8. I don't know what his score is yet. But someone standing next to me could find out if he wanted to.
My phone's right there.
No, from Let's get a good close-up shot. I see an AdMech player, an AdMech model in that middle, right in there.
Yeah.
Let's Let's see if we can zoom in on him. Oh wait, no, that's not.
Not with this.
Does it do that? Does it zoom in?
I would need a different lens.
Okay, okay.
Actually, transition back to the other.
Yep. Transitioning back.
Oh, the weight's
So it looks like we just had a flesh wound put onto a priest, a Corpuscari Electro Priest, in that objective in the bottom right-hand corner. I know this camera is a little bit further away. This is why we don't necessarily transition over to table 2 that often. We're just getting a new lens put on the camera for some sweet, sweet close-up shots.
Oh, crap. This one needs to be manually focused. That's
Almost.
a good model. Banshee.
You can get both of them. Can you get the AdMech?
Yeah, trying. Oh, the battery just died.
Ooh, good thing we weren't on that camera. And that's why I didn't miss it. That's strange that it can't be plugged in.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a mod.
I'm gonna get a better.
A battery with a plug into it or something.
Right. I'm gonna get a better camera eventually. But not
I bet that exists.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Let's get a close-up shot. So that Howling Banshee on the objective in the bottom left-hand corner. About to get a sweet close-up shot of that model, and it's a little blurry, but you can see the AdMech. Can I zoom in?
That's the focus.
Yeah. I know. You can see the AdMech model hiding behind it on that middle objective. Looks like he has a flesh wound as well, hiding behind that middle AdMech building.
Oh, switch back.
All right. So I think they are calculating their score right now.
This thing's about to crash.
I believe they're calculating their score. A lot of the other rounds are finished. People are inputting their scores. Yeah, we don't know who made the top 8 yet. We still have some games that haven't quite finished yet. We're not quite sure who's going to be in the top 8 yet. So they're calculating their score. We'll switch to that sweet close-up shot while they calculate their score. I'm not sure exactly what. I'm a little far away to hear what they're saying about their score. So we'll see where it goes. Man, it could go. I feel like it could go in either way. Woo! We had a camera malfunction. You know,
It's because the lens is too heavy and it override the motor.
you could just move it out of the way. I'm not going to use it. I mean, you can use it tomorrow if you want.
Yeah. So in order to switch lenses like that, I have to rebalance all the motors. And I was seeing if I could just get away with it, but it's all good.
All right, we're going to find out what this score is momentarily. Adeptus Mechanicus versus Azerani. Two top-ranked IGC Kill Team players in a first major of the season. They just shook hands. Let's see what the final score is. It looks like I think 19-16 for the Adeptus Mechanicus. That is crazy. You ready for this? (19-16) for the AdMech. In that final round, that was a big swing. Woo! It's crazy. From what I could see from my angle, it did not look like the AdMech.
What?
Crazy. We've had nothing but close games and upsets.
Alex actually doesn't need as much points as Janice does, so if he wins this,
But how so? Oh, because he's above her.
no, Janice is above him, but Janice is above him with smaller finishes.
It's all points.
Oh wait, Janice won one of the pods, didn't she? And Alex didn't win any of the pods. Yeah, Janice won.
Looks like things are going rocking up here.
Pardon?
Looks like things are rocking up here.
Yeah.
The demo we had, people are at it all day long.
Sorry, what?
The Kilty demo.
Oh, really?
People are all over.
So the, what am I trying to say here? The pod tomorrow will be huge. Is what I'm saying. Because we're planning on actually making one big event just like this, and then just running kind of the top 8 here, and then the other event will just be like this huge event. But we're gonna run because it's the first event of the new season.
So people want the most points they can.
We're just gonna make it as big as we can, and we're actually gonna try, if we can. It's gonna be tricky. We're gonna try and make it 5 rounds. It's supposed to only be 30, but we're gonna basically run 4 and then just like cut to a top 2, so that it has 5 rounds. So.
And then my next
See how that goes.
If standings hold, this and we remain at 1 and 2. First matches tomorrow is rematches of SoCal.
What?
I played in top table at SoCal.
So it looks like we're pretty close to having the top 8. I don't know if every single game. Do you know if?
I can't see 6 inches in front of my face right now.
I know. My eyes. I was going around trying to do best. We were kind of trying to pick a best game. Like trying to focus on after being here and looking inside and not blinking enough because it's dry and I'm just I can't see.
If Robert was here, we'd be like,
Good job though.
I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't be up here also, but you would probably be up here.
That was
I'm gonna actually see
models
it.
left at the end.
What?
I think we both had 4 models left at the end.
Hey, maybe I'm gonna see if Glass wants to interview you real quick. Or Alec, I guess. Be right back, guys.
Good.
How did stream go? Did you get people tuning in?
Oh yeah, tons.
Nice.
Hey guys, while I still got you, just wanted to give you a little ad for what's coming up in August. We've got a cool tournament called Slaughter Zone. It's going to be at the Slaughterfest Open in August 1st and 2nd. Definitely make sure to check it out if you get a chance. It's going to be sweet. There's a swag bag that everybody gets with a ticket that comes with a t-shirt and a ton, like a metric ton of swag. You're going to be impressed if you show up at how much cool stuff you're going to get.
Glasses.
I'm 6. Oh, so you're definitely. Where am I? Do I know yet?
All right, so we got Glass Half Dead here. We're gonna do a little interview with the guys who won. Who are we interviewing?
I thought we were doing Alex. And Alex.
Okay.
Once those done.
Alec. We need Alec.
Would you like to have a chat?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. Do you want to come around here?
Sure. Am I on camera or are we just not yet?
just
Oh,
riffing.
I'm talking
You're gonna
into
be
the
on
microphone, but it's not actually doing anything.
it is, yes.
Oh, okay.
No, come around here. I'll put you on my camera. Got to make content somehow.
Yeah, I gotta look pretty here real quick.
Can you go around the other side? Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. Watch your foot.
All right. You're doing that?
Yes, you
Okay.
go.
Fun stuff.
Okay.
Actually, I could probably record you from here.
You've got to be quite close to here, though. So
okay.
it's kind of weird as it may be. Right.
Hey, how's it going?
I haven't pressed record yet. Please.
I'm not good at these things.
Be nice.
I'm not the personality. You know?
Hello, Alec.
Hello, Glass Half Dead.
Yes, thank you. So, we haven't played. Normally when I do this, I'm doing it because I've just played somebody. But we're talking to you because you have just come first. Is that right?
I believe so, by like a couple points. Yes.
Okay, and you were playing Drukhari.
I was playing Drukhari.
What were you Raxpan?
Against Custodes, I took 2 grotesques. I would like to.
yes.
I would like to say I had as many grotesques as I had. I had 3 racks.
Okay.
It was almost grotesque spam. I'm trying for it.
No, that's really good. So I had heard that was something you were going to do. I can't remember who told me that. Maybe it was Birin. But he said that if you had a list specifically for Custodes, which was what?
Yeah.
Two grotesques. And
You get a leader Akathist, 2 plain racks, 2 grotesques, no liquefiers on them, and then 2 mandrakes.
Okay.
So you stick 2 or 3 guys in the back. You deep strike the 2 mandrakes, and then you meet in the middle with the 2 grotesques, and you hope that the Custodes can't take out the grotesque.
Sure.
They're toughness 5. They've got 4 wounds. 4 wounds is rare.
4
bin vuln,
5 up, feel no
6
pain.
up, feel no pain. I rolled really hot on that game.
Okay.
But by the math, on average, they should last 2 rounds against the Custodes in combat. But
They were lasting the whole game, were they?
no. I actually got a kill. I can't believe it.
Oh, nice.
But the idea was just deny them kills.
Yep.
Because otherwise, like, what else am I going to do? Just
No,
throw
sure, yeah.
feed racks to them. I don't have the roster space to feed racks to them.
Okay, right. And that final game you just played, what was that? Who was that against? How did it go?
That was Dakota with Eldar. That was a tough matchup.
He's been playing hot. He's been doing well, I
with
believe.
two Banshees, 2 or 3 Scorpions. He had a lot of close combat, and I brought Flamers, and his Howling Banshees don't care about my Flamers.
No, they do not.
So I got a lucky roll for decisive move. I got to charge into his Howling Banshee Exarch. And just sort of tied that up, so I didn't have to deal with that as much.
Sure.
Got the combat Akathist I had with a electro-corrosive whip and liquefier.
Yeah.
One of my MVPs managed to have 2 flesh wounds by the end of the game and still survive. It was really close until the end of the 3rd, and I got a couple flamer shots that took a couple models out. Dakota broke, and there was very quick. That breaking is really tough.
Critical.
But this is today is as many times as I've played Drukhari in the past. I've played today. So
you played against
Eldar.
Okay, all right.
Played against Eldar. I'm a little frazzled.
Yeah, we all are. It's a long
yeah.
day. Okay, so I guess the big thing then is that I believe the way tomorrow is working, it's a cut to top 8, and that means there's 8 of us. We're playing 4 rounds, so 4 games, so everybody plays everybody.
Wow.
Right? Well, I mean, that's
Okay.
what it is, right?
I have no idea.
I believe it is.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You're going to have to face me. Necrons.
So-
How do you feel?
So Necrons.
Yeah.
You have a lot of flayed ones, don't you?
So I have 2 lists. One is Flayed One spam. One is Flayed One spam. One is Warrior spam. I haven't decided what I take against. I haven't thought about Drukhari. I haven't played against Drukhari. I've played as Drukhari, but I haven't played against Drukhari.
I took the last minute roster decision I had. I had 20 models on my roster. Was I going to take 3 Mandrakes or 3 Incubi?
Okay.
I think the Incubi are better against Necrons. I think the Mandrakes are better against Tau. I went with. I was more worried about Tau than I was about Necrons, and I rolled poorly on that. I don't know.
I think there's one.
I don't know.
But that's crazy, yeah. There are no Tau players, really.
That's the other thing about tournaments. It's if you've got 4 games and every faction is represented, if you get lucky and you play against the factions you're strong against, you're going to do much better than if you get. And yeah, so I haven't had to play Necrons. I haven't had to play Tau.
Right.
I haven't had those really tough matchups yet.
To be fair, you've been going against Aziani, right?
Yeah, those are
really
very
strong.
very strong. Yes.
So I faced one Aziani and I only just won, and it was luck of the dice, really. But you've been facing them all day, I assume.
I got lucky twice. Yes.
Okay, well that does happen, yeah. Okay, well awesome. Thank you very much. I look forward to our interview tomorrow after our game and seeing who's won. Cheers.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, no, I think that's how it's working. Because obviously the way
Sorry, I'm so frazzled right now.
I
have no idea.
The way BCP works is it should never match you against
Someone you played?
the same person twice. So, yeah, and because we're cutting top 8 and there are 4 games, you have to face everyone. So I'm terrified. I believe there's Grey Knights, 2 Aziani, Drakari, Necrons, I don't know who else. Oh, I'm just holding this.
I think we're still live on stream.
Yeah.
We have 30 people who are waiting for the hallway conversation.
I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, Sheldon is the Kill Team stream who's streaming all this. Is one of the 2 Necron players in my local group.
Yeah.
I almost never play
means
against.
You know what's happening.
I know how not to go into a game against Necrons.
Okay. Right.
We have very little AdMac, Eldar. All right, I think we're getting called over, so we'll sign off.
There's an announcement.
We're doing 2 random draws for 2 box sets, the Rubik Marines and the Blade Marines.
But only 2 draws?
Yeah, do the first one.
Jonas Parsonage. At least you can play the rest of it.
Now we're also going to give an award to Best Painted Kill Team.
I can leave.
I like this.
This is nice. Yeah.
Do more than just like the people that win. Like,
No, yeah. Who cares who wins?
Yeah.
That was luck of the dice. This is real.
You know who it is, you just trying to remember the names.
I went to an Asia tournament, Sigmar tournament recently. It was 5 points for a win, but every round you could get up to 6 points for sportsmanship, painting, getting through 3 rounds, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It was a great motivator. It kept people like you didn't like I have to win everything and like, obliterate my opponent.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's good. Did anyone bring Astartes at all? Yes, there are definitely Astartes here. I believe they have lost. Oh, well, they haven't made top 8. I know that Zero Stride took them. I don't know where they came. So we can find that out, though. Yes. Oh, is that it? Or are they doing another one? Yeah, they're doing an announcement thing at the moment. Oh, they're announcing the top 8.
First place, Alec Berryman on Drakari.
You're going to win?
83 points. Second place, Alex Squires on Tempest.
Alec and Alex. Very exciting.
Ale is the new meta.
Third place, Nick Cordero on Grey Knights.
Very nice. Yeah, they're tough. Good for them.
Fourth place, Andrew Lynch, or Glass Half Dead.
Oh, shit. That's me.
He's also selling merchandise for anyone.
Please buy it. I don't want to take it home. So, yeah.
Fifth place, we have Alex Rutnarak.
Nice. That's another Aziani.
Sixth place, we have Michael T. Holy, who
Azayani from Michael T. Holy, very exciting.
In second place, we have Janice Gilham in
Azayani. Azayani again.
Third place, we have James Skinner with Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns, very cool.
I've never played against Thousand Suns.
They're interesting. They're interesting.
I gotta start collecting box. I'm gonna be building when I get back.
Oh, well, that's all you need. That builds everything you want. It's great. It's great. Only the Marine player. If you want, we can actually go grab Zero Stride. Yeah, do you want to hold that a moment?
A Space Marines player to interview. He's beckoned with his hands. All right, they are moving on over. There's been a merchandising break. Answering questions for the fans. I'm not anybody, but I can introduce you. Hi, what is your name?
My name is Pat, Zero Stride. I played Space Marines, and I guess somebody wanted to know my roster or something. So I designed this roster kind of specifically for the board and the secondaries. I took 14 Salamanders and 6 Raven Guard. The Raven Guard list also exists in the Salamanders list. It's Eliminator Sergeant Leader with Instigator Bolt Carbine. I wanted him to be able to advance and shoot. I have an Eliminator Sniper with a Las Fusel, Eliminator Comms, Eliminator, and Demolition Suppressor. And that's the Raven Guard list. I didn't run that at all today. It was, it's there to basically to go against Custodes and against Astartes gun lines. And the reason is that the way the mission layouts are, there's a V deployment mission, there's a circle in the middle deployment mission that's weird that has objectives that are not, there's a middle objective and then 2 side objectives that are completely out in the open. Along the long edges of the boards, there's like a 3-inch where there's absolutely nothing, no scatter terrain, and I wanted the list to be able to hold those objectives without being totally screwed, and so that's where Raven Guard plus Camo Cloaks come in. And then the Salamanders, that list as well, but then they also had a Intercessor Sergeant, Comms, Auspex, Chainsword, Reaver Sergeant, Combat, Bolt Carbine, and Combat Knife. 2 Scout Gunners with heavy bolters, 2 Scouts with shotguns, and an Intercessor Gunner, with a Aux Grenade Launcher. And basically the way it worked is that you could swap out the suppressor for 2, almost, it was 1 point cheaper, but you can swap suppressor out and get 2 heavy bolters. As far as matchups, I always either want to run a heavy bolter or 2 heavy bolters, or I'll want the suppressor. So that was kind of the thoughts on that. It worked okay. I lost 1 game versus the Thousand Suns to Dice, and then I lost to another Astartes team, and he ended up going 3-1 as a result. But I made a absurdly stupid decision, and so the secondaries I picked were Reconnaissance, which is hold 2 board edges, and Recon Sweep, which is be in their deployment zone. And then I also took, what am I thinking? Hip Fire. So my plan was, he had a grav cannon, I knew he was going to take it. My plan was to drop my Reaver, so I put my Reaver and my suppressor into reserves, because Grav Shoot Descent lets you deep strike any combination of Reavers and or Grav Shoot models. So even though the Reaver Sergeant doesn't have a Grav Shoot, he's still a Reaver model and can be deep struck. So I deep struck the suppressor straight into the corner of his deployment zone, and I put the Reaver next to him. The reason for this was that I knew I was going to take the grav cannon to the face, and I was going to pass off the wounds, turn them into mortal wounds with Battle Brothers. So this would have put, up to 6 damage weapon and turned that into 6 mortal wounds onto my Reaver. And then my suppressor would get to shoot back, and he would murder the 2 guys that were back there. So that was the plan. Unfortunately, the guy behind the grav cannon had a plasma gun, and I did not realize that. So unfortunately, instead of that happening, I lost those 2 models on turn 1, and that was just a really, really foolish decision on my part. So life goes on. No, I did not take any veterans toe jam, and the reason for that is basically even though I had my Reaver Sergeant and my Intercessor Sergeant designed to be counterchargers and then provide comms and to be a Blade of Wounds, I wasn't actually trying to do close combat, and one of the other tactics on the Salamanders list that I pulled out one time was to run only 2 specialists, and that actually came into play during Necron. I think versus Necrons. It was one of the games. But you can't max out high-profile targets. And beyond sniper and comms, the usefulness of the specialities in the way I was playing starts to degrade pretty rapidly. So, do you want to talk now, Sheldon?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, you can talk.
Hello. I think we're going to get Alex's interview here coming up.
Alex.
All right, Glass Half Dead and Alex are going to have a little discussion about the final game here. Alex, how did that game with Janice go?
I'd really like to do nothing more right now than lie on the ground. That's about how it went.
Fair enough. Looked pretty harrowing.
No, I thought she had me on the ropes.
Yeah.
She had I think it was a 2-point lead going into round 4. And I think we both had maybe 4 models on the field.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I think she had like 5, I had 4, and maybe she had 3 at the end. It was, both of us had obliterated each other.
Yeah, and Azuyani and Admech, they're both very shooty. You're kind of playing the same game.
Yeah, not totally.
Oh, but you had your melee guys,
so
right?
traders with power swords and my 2 stabby priests.
That makes sense.
And then she had her Exarchs, who are very happy to get it in tussle. So we both kind of had like the front line of
you had like the front line
hammers.
melee and then some shooty in the back.
Yeah.
Kind of like the back line, keeping it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, at least as far as I understand, tomorrow in the top 8, you're actually going to possibly be playing her again. How do you feel about that? Are there any things that you think you might change, given that game?
I don't know. Depends on what mission we pull and what the deployment looks like.
It's true, yeah. It looks like it will be mission 5, I think.
Yeah. So the towers on that map were 5 inches tall.
Yeah.
So I rolled in with 2 of my infiltrators and held them back to deep strike, under the theory that I was pretty sure she was going to go deep with the all her deep strikes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she gave me enough room to screen out my leader with them. But if she had gone somewhere else with them and I didn't have to do that, I was going to drop my 2 infiltrators up on the tower, have essentially a 5-inch easier charge over anything she does.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's interesting, too, that you say that, because I think there's only maybe 3 or 4 tables in the entire tournament that have the taller towers.
Yeah.
Do you think that played a part in the game in one way or
It certainly
another?
made a difference. It didn't, because I didn't end up going up there.
Yeah.
Really, so it didn't really make a difference.
Okay.
But it was something I saw, and we established that they were 5 inches tall at the beginning of the game, but I
yeah.
didn't play my card to be like, haha, play my card to be like, haha, 5-inch deep strike bubble.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting to see what happened. I ended up not doing it, but I had that card in my pocket if I needed it.
That makes sense. Yeah, and in a way, it almost kind of played a part in that it gave you that thought that you could do it, right? So
Right, exactly.
In a way, there was an active participant in the game
Yeah.
of the terrain that would be different.
100%.
Yeah.
And also, so we've been playing with the orc towers, right?
Yeah.
Which are 3 inches up, but we've been playing without the roofs. And if you play with the roofs, those are 6 inches tall.
That's true.
And then that gives me, or anybody, the ability to do the same shenanigans.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. That was a decision the TOs made. They wanted to make sure that there was just the base level and none of the roofs.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when it might have been actually when I was playing you at Darkside in the tournament.
Yeah.
You forgot. Oh no, it was against Luke. Maybe it happened to you too. But I had Plasma chilling under the roof.
Oh,
and
yes.
from where he was, or maybe you, whoever it was,
Yeah.
they couldn't see it from where they were standing on their table.
Yeah.
And I shot.
It wasn't me, but yeah.
Okay, so it must have been him, and I think that was when I actually killed the custode.
Oh yeah.
Custodian, sorry. And it was a little bit of a feel bad moment. Like, he saw me move it there, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was super hidden, but he had just forgotten about
Yeah,
it.
which
and
you
so,
do. I mean, it's easy to
yeah.
forget a model. I did that in one of my games today.
Yeah.
He was hiding behind the perfect container that was out
Right.
of my line of sight the whole game. I made an assault into the enemy lines
Yeah.
because I thought I'd be free and safe, and then it was like, oh, I'll charge you. I was like, wait, what? So
Clearly, the solution to this is to get 6-inch tall mirrors and put them on the backside of either.
Yeah.
That would be awful.
Or just to have on the stream table, we could just have a big monitor
Yeah,
here. That's
exactly.
But no, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, that was in jest.
Yeah, yep. But yeah. So well, I'm glad that you came up. Is there anything that you want to say about? I know that you have Strategic Advantage, your cool YouTube
Yeah.
show.
So Emmanuel, my co-host, he and I are doing Strategic Advantage, which is
And
a
he'll
new.
be here tomorrow.
He will be here tomorrow. He wasn't able to make it today. He had work conflicts.
Yeah.
But he'll be here tomorrow, and we've launched Strategic Advantage, which is a new
He was
YouTube
too
channel.
busy learning how to save people's lives.
Yeah, he's a real jerk. But yeah, so we've launched that. We've only got a couple videos up for now. But we're in the process of editing a bat rep we did.
Yeah, I've been watching all your videos. They've been great.
too?
Yeah, I really like the commentary you've been giving on
Thanks, man.
more of like the tactical side of things. You
Yeah.
know, and that is I think a niche that maybe Glass Half Dead and Beernid are playing in, but you're kind of giving like the real world sort of.
Yeah, I think I'm speaking for my buddies here, so
Yeah.
who knows. I feel like they both think more like on the meta side and
Yeah.
more like about the lists and
Yeah.
not so much on like the
direct
interactions
interactions
in the game.
Yeah.
But Emmanuel and I play AdMech, he plays Orcs, and we've played each other a lot.
Yeah.
So we've experienced both extremes of the game and them clashing at each other, so
Yeah.
we've got a real good range of experience on exactly what's happening.
That's great.
Just what's coming down the pipe in Strategic Advantage. So we did the White Dwarf Revolution
Oh, yeah?
mission, and we filmed that earlier this week. We're editing it now. Neither of us
Nice.
have any experience with video editing, so this is a huge learning experience.
As someone who has a lot of experience with video editing, so much that I know it's my least favorite thing in life, and hence why the SoCal videos. Until I have enough money to pay for an editor.
Yeah.
I can understand why that it's a process.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got that coming out, and then we have two more like tactical talk type videos.
And the tactical videos are a
the
lot easier. 'cause
Cogboy
it's just, like,
cogitations.
live talking. You're not really doing too much.
And
editing.
we've had some feedback, and people are saying like, we have our top-down camera.
Yeah.
And then we take some photos. We're working on it to try to make it a little more dynamic.
I mean, I personally think listening to you guys that your format would be improved with like a head-on camera, even though I know that's the most awkward thing to do. It's like I don't want to show myself, but I think it would add a lot to your guys' film.
Cool. We can try to
Videos.
figure out how to do that.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys are two good-looking guys that can like totally give off that personality on stream. So I think it would be great.
Okay, good feedback.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll let you get to your partying because you're in the top 8 tomorrow. Are you excited?
I'm
to
very excited.
Play all of the top 8?
I'm very happy that someone from Team Fly By Nights made it.
Yes.
I was really hoping that we'd have like at least 3 people, but it didn't happen.
Hey,
but
you know,
we got someone in.
There wasn't any hardcore bookies betting on this, but if there was, I would have put my money on you. So
Thanks, man.
I'm glad that you made it in there.
Do you know if they're doing like 1v8, 2v7 tomorrow, or if it's
I believe
continuing
so.
to Swiss?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 1v8, but until I see those, I'm not going to say that it's confirmed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah,
and thanks
thank you.
everybody for watching. Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.
Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll catch you back tomorrow. The top 8 is gonna start at, I believe it's a little 10:30 or 11 tomorrow morning. So can't wait to see you guys back. Have a great rest of your evening, and thanks for watching. Shut it down.